Hello again, Cold Warrior 78. I'm back out in the woods. I want to pan around here a little bit and show you the woods that I'm in. Over my shoulder you can see some really nice trees up there. Let me pan around this way. Now, this is yet a different forest. It's technically still Tonto National Forest out in Arizona. But these trees are substantial because I'm so high up in the air. Now, I'm on a mountain. Elevation is what I guess I should be saying. Through the break in the trees there, you probably can't see. Let me see if I can zoom in out there a little bit. It's probably still not visible. Down there is the southern part of the town of Safford, Arizona. Let me come back out of that. Okay. Safford, Arizona, which is, excuse the bouncing there, because I have to handhold this because I don't know. There we are. Anyway, Safford, Arizona, in the neighborhood of 3,500 to 4,000 feet elevation. On the road that I just came up, I passed a sign a little while ago, said 7,000 feet, so at the moment we're 7,005, 7,007, so roughly 3,500 feet or more above the plains out there. It was 75 degrees down there. It's now 54 degrees based on the thermometer in the truck. I was trying to find a campsite up here, and they do have several established campgrounds, but I prefer to do what the National Forest calls dispersed camping, which is simply go find a place. Just go find a place out there and you're good. It's low impact, at least I try to be low impact. Just find a place where I can get the truck off the road, have a small campsite for the night, and be good. Let me show you the only thing that's available up here though. Again, turning around. There's the truck, there's the dog, there's the road. Except for the established campsites, this place is so steep. Let me actually run you up here. You can see right there on the side of the road, there's another cliff. You have the cliff, the width of the road, this little pull-off where people have camped before, and then another cliff. There's a small shoulder down here, maybe 30 feet below where I am, and then it drops off at a 75-degree angle down from there. So with all this vertical, it's very hard to find a place to camp. I was considering just pulling off here and camping for the night, but I really don't like being on the side of a road, even though it's a secondary road off the, for lack of a better term, we'll call it main road, although it's not that main. So I'm going to hold off here and see if I can go find somewhere else. So Cold Warrior 78 out for the moment. Hi again, Cold Warrior 78 here. I wanted to show you something that a lot of people don't think about when you're running around these back roads, and that's you got to be careful of rocks that fall down. Hang on a minute, let me show you what we're talking about here. I'll pan this way a little bit. Alright, and we see this rock pile here. None of these rocks were here last summer. They all came down from up there. Likewise, that big rock, the size of a Volkswagen, excuse the bouncing while I walk here, was also up there until about 2 weeks ago. Now this is just resting comfortably here in the road. I'll show you here, it's not on the edge of the road, it's actually in the road. And the National Forest will get around to moving it eventually. Back up a little bit there, you go. Again, like I said, it's about the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Looks like it's granite. I barely squeezed by with the truck a little while ago. You just got to be careful. There's a curve, and if you're highballing around here going fast, you're going to wind up getting hit. or running into it. Okay, so let's see if I can get that in the, there we are, get that in the background. Let me walk backwards a little bit so you can get a better idea of how tall this thing actually is. Okay. Here, there we go. Okay, holding the camera at approximately eyeball height, that thing is as tall as I am, 5 foot 10 inches tall. A little bit more with the hat. All right, so that's a big old hunk of stone. So be careful when you're running around these back roads. There's nothing more inherently dangerous than somebody who's not paying attention. And unfortunately I see that an awful lot. There's four-wheelers running around up here. There's regular cars running up and down this road. It's one of the other reasons I didn't want to camp on the side of it. But don't you be the idiot who slams into this kind of thing, okay? And even if it's only the size of a small toolbox, you could break an axle, bust your wheel right off. So you got to be careful. And that requires you to slow down and look, okay? I also carry crowbars and things like that. This ain't being moved by me. I'm just going to go around it. But if you're going to run around in these kind of conditions, make sure you have some basic tools. Maybe a shovel, an axe, a saw, a come-along. Four-wheel drive vehicle is really handy, but realize that that's not going to get you out of your own stupidity if you're not careful. So just be careful. I know I keep saying careful, but really it's common sense, and it's becoming a less common item nowadays. So I'll get back to you in a little bit. Cold Warrior 78 out for a moment. I'm about 500 feet in elevation lower than I was a minute ago, but I wanted to give you a better view of the valley. Let me zoom in here a bit. Alright, that's the, if you will, the plains that are down there. I believe that's Roper Lake State Park. So you can see the tremendous amount of elevation difference. When you get out west particularly, it's more noticeable, but certainly anywhere in the country. Wait one. Okay, anywhere in the country, elevation is often your primary determiner for how cold it's going to be. Like I said, it was 75 down in the plains. When I left there, started climbing the mountain, it's 54 degrees based on what the truck says at the moment. So elevation is what drives the train. If you want to get cooler, you got to go up. If you want to get warmer, you got to go down. Going farther south, going farther north doesn't really drive the train in a micro fashion like that. It's elevation. And that's one of the things I like about Arizona is if you want to be colder or cooler, find a mountain, go up. If you want to be warmer, go find the flatlands, come down, and you'll get what you're looking for. All right, I'll come back to you in a little bit. Hi, Cold Warrior 78 again. I decided to go to one of the established campgrounds down here. That's National Forest is so nicely provided. So I've got a nice concrete table, and there's actually a pit toilet over there, garbage cans that are bear proof. So yeah, what the heck. I've got one of those all agency passport pass things. So instead of costing me $20 a night, it's only going to cost $10. So there you go. I'm going to cook some hot dogs here over my fire that almost wasn't. I'll explain that in another video. But I was testing out a fire starter. It didn't start. So luckily I was able to come up with other ways to do it. But for the moment we're going to cook hot dogs for my dog and myself. And I'll see you in the morning. So, oh, by the way, I think I misspoke earlier. I think I said this was the Tonto National Forest. It's not. It's the Coronado National Forest. Tonto is farther north up by Phoenix, and then north of that towards Payson, just south of the Mogollon Rim. Down here, this is the Coronado National Forest. Like I said, there's a bunch of different districts of it, and this is the one that's just outside of Safford, Arizona. So, like I said, I'll see you in the morning. Cold Warrior 78 out for the minute.